Back when I was young, I studied the Filipino martial arts of Kali, Arnis, Eskrima. And we used all kinds of sticks and we hit on each other very lightly when we had no equipment. However, we had put on equipment like this helmet and we go a little bit harder and we can make light contact and of course you get the feel of it. But even then, you could get some injuries because the helmet doesn't cover everything. In fact, in this photo, back in those days, I would actually do full contact as hard as I could, and my opponent hitting me as hard as I could, but with the proper equipment. But we had to mix equipment, fencing helmets, hockey equipment, motorcycle equipment, football stuff. And the truth is, yeah, it was good protection, but there was always some light injury somewhere, or even sometimes a broken bone. Well, I came up with a great way to train my students, and this was only several years ago. The pool noodle. Yep, this little thing is designed for kids to play in the water, in the pools, or at the beach. And when this first came out, I said, hey, this is perfect for contact training. So instead of spending literally thousands of dollars for equipment or getting someone injured, hey, this replaced instantly those kind of full contact scenarios. And now nobody can get hurt. And very inexpensive. I mean, probably less than $2, and I've even bought these for $1. When it comes with contact with the pool noodle, you'll want the minimum safety equipment, which will be goggles or wraparound ballistic glasses. And that will prevent the retina from getting scratched. And you don't want that because even the edge of the pool noodle can cause a little bit of damage or irritation. The next step would be wearing a helmet, and this is just a skateboard helmet. And of course, the pool noodle is not going to fracture the skull or break anything. But again, some people are a little sensitive, especially beginners. So, and I'll put it on them if they're a little hesitant. And that way they know that even if it hits their head, there's not going to be any damage. So it's more for psychological than anything else. Another alternative is to have a full face shield, and you'll find these at sporting goods stores for airsoft training or for paint guns. And the good thing about that is if you get whacked in the face with a pool noodle, obviously accidentally because that's a restricted target for a security officer. But, what about if he's coming at you with his baton or his stick or his simulated weapon? Then this is nice because, okay, you're not going to get any fractures from a pool noodle, but some people just don't like getting whacked in the face. So I will provide this for some of my students who they just don't want to get hit in the face. Now, there are training batons that you can buy, and they have also martial arts versions. And these work fine too, and they do reduce injury. However, they're still pretty hard. And without safety equipment, especially a helmet, especially protecting the throat, you could really injure someone seriously with this. So again, the pool noodle is an inexpensive way to train. So as you can see, I cut it down to the shape of the baton, and it's the perfect training tool. Of course, I don't just stick with this blue representing private security or friendly. I also cut one to have red. What does red mean? That means a hostile person. So in training, you might want to give one of these to the bad guy if you're simulating an attack with an impact weapon. Again, these color show right away who's who. In order to effectively use a baton, and I'm using the pool noodle to make full contact with my training partner, you have to do this in order to know exactly where to hit. Distance is everything with a baton. And what we have is called a long arc and a short arc. What is a long arc? Well, a long arc is, and of course the arm is a perfectly legitimate target according to the law. If I hit his arm, I'm hitting with the last 4 to 6 inches of the baton. Why is that? Because as I swing, the most energy is developed at the end. Well, what's a short arc? Well, a short arc might be I hit him maybe midway with the baton or closer. Okay, it's still an impact, still could possibly stop this person from his continued attack. But the problem is there's less energy. Okay, now let's say I'm swinging this at 100 miles an hour. All right, well, if I hit him with the long arc, because it has, and this is all physics, because it has more distance to travel, it's building up more energy. Okay, if I hit him with the short arc, okay, it's still going at 100 miles an hour, but because it has a less distance, a less of an arc, it actually has less energy. And so obviously, if you're gonna hit someone, you wanna get the most energy in your baton. Now, I'm hoping with that energy and a good hit that he stops, he surrenders, he doesn't wanna go any further, because the whole objective is to stop this guy's attack against me. So obviously you want to end it with as few hits as possible, and that's why you want to hit him with the long arc. With my training partner now, I can hit full contact because I have the pull noodle and practice actually making strikes with the long arc. Now we're going to go through the numbers, and you already know the 10 striking angles. So number one, and I'm using a regular baton, well, number one is lower abdomen, but the problem is what can happen is when you hit, your hand can go off. The energy can make it shift on you, and you're going to end up in a bad position where he can move in on you. So when it comes to number one, the first angle, grab with two hands and strike. Now, if you get a little bend in your pull noodle, well, obviously a real baton's gonna not give at all, so a little bend shows that you would have got a good hit in. So lower abdomen. And of course now I can practice the rest, right? I can go with horizontal, and the arm is a legitimate striking area. Or I can go leg. And the good thing is I hit full contact, but no hurt to my training partner. And of course, reverse the angle. All right? Don't forget, keep up your guard hand. You could either have a fist or open, but you got to protect yourself just in case he moves in before that. All right, vertical. Where am I going to get hit vertical? Well, the head's off limits. The clavicle's off limits. There's really nothing, so I can't do it. But on the other hand, he suddenly grabs my wrist. Okay, now I can apply the vertical strike. What about going up, vertical up? Well, I can't hit the groin, yellow area. I could cause permanent damage. Nope, that's off limits for me. I'm not going to hit the chin. I have nothing vertical. All right, so that's out. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, next, diagonal. The arms, the legs. And of course, I'm putting my energy into it. I'm rotating the body for torque, all the things we talked about. And that's it. Now, what about training on the other hand, the secondary hand? Well, you could get injured and you may have to shift the weapon. So I recommend that you train at least 20% of the time on the other hand, because you may have to do it. Maybe it's broken. So now you have to learn, how does that feel? Because if you're not used to using your secondary hand, it feels strange. Like it's not normal. It would be like brushing your teeth with the opposite hand. It takes a little getting used to. And of course, you start learning to put your body into it. You learn the striking areas. And that's the whole purpose of the pull noodle. So you feel full contact. You feel what it's like to hit. You do your follow through, but no injury to my training partner. I've been an advisor on the board of advisors on Security Training Center for 2 decades since the company was first formed. And this baton training video is just part of the contribution I've made over the years. Now, I'm still a certified guard with the state of California, so I have to have a continuing education in security matters, and I even go to STC, even though I am a contributor, because there I can get good online training and also very clear and concise training materials. So, visit the website and stay safe.